Okay, I hope my screen is visible to you. I'm showing the whiteboard to my screen actually, on my screen, sorry. What we are going to do is we are going to focus on very important concept that actually after discussing about the vowels, today we are going to discuss about the consonant, like consonant part and especially related to the IPA system. Let me see that what can I actually adjust with the screen only. I'm just trying to figure it out like how to share the thing. Hmm. Let me know that if the screen is visible to all of you and what you can see on the screen basically. I would like to know that. Once that is clear to me, and I will begin with the thing. Just a minute. I'm just, yeah, that's a whiteboard only that you can see. And we are going to utilize this whiteboard for explanation of all the consonants that I'm going to discuss with you. And I hope that you will get maximum benefit of it. Since and please like it and share it with as many people as you can, so that they may also get the benefit of the same. What I really want is actually, today I would be trying to explain it in detail about why we call such consonant such way, and what exactly we should know about the consonants. Side by side, I will be checking the comments if somebody would be sending the comments on my comment section, and then side by side, we will be studying about like all the categories of the consonants that we are going to discuss like in this class. So let me write the title of the class first. So what's the title of the class? We have consonants to discuss. Consonants. Okay. Usually what we have heard of the consonants is something like which comes with like except the vowels, then rest of the like alphabets we say that they are consonants. No, exactly consonants. There is a difference between the vowels and the consonants. A very clear difference is the obstruction of air. Like obviously we know that our lungs, are like that part of our body, like which produces a lot of air that comes out of that gushes out of our vocal cords. So like whatever we breathe in and breathe out, that's a process actually which helps us to actually speak out something. If that won't happen properly, then definitely we won't be able to speak something. So when the air comes out from the mouth, and when it touches the vocal cords and comes out of and touches the different part of the mouth, depending upon what word or what alphabet that we speak or what sound that we create, it becomes something like, for example, if there is no obstruction of air, then definitely it'll be a vowel sound like a, e, I, o, u. Whenever you speak, there is no obstruction of air. But when it comes to speaking of the consonants, you will just have some obstruction when you utter them. Whenever you speak them, there would be some sort of obstruction of air, like which comes out of your mouth. The air that comes out of your mouth, if it has some obstruction, then definitely you are producing the consonant. And we are going to talk about the IPA consonants, International Phonetic Alphabet consonants, which are really helpful to let you know about like how to figure it out what pronunciation a word can carry and how we need to pronunciate a certain word. So to beautify your art of um, communication and speaking particularly, I have brought this lesson for you, and I promised that before also. Now, the way I said that during the class for the vowels, I mentioned that one. There are certain categories of the vowels. The way we know about the vowels is not right. Like we know about the Roman vowels, and there we have understood about only and only what kind of vowels, like A, E, I, O, U. So simply we know that, but exactly we should know about the sound system in the vowels, where we produce short vowels, long vowels, diphthongs, triphthongs, and many other categories. But basically, we should know about all of these three to four. And if we know about them, then definitely our pronunciation is going to be optimum, and we are not going to make mistakes as many as we do right at the moment. So if we know about all those vowels, I would say that definitely you should look forward for the consonant class. But if you are not clear about the vowels yet, then definitely you can check out the same lesson. I think that would be the lesson before this live session. So you can check that out. Or if there is any other issue regarding like which vowel sound has to produce in which way, then you can send me a comment in my video. And then definitely, like, what I would do is, I told you, as I promised that one, that I am definitely going to make short videos about those symbols. And I would tell you that what are the different words that we can actually use to exemplify all of those symbols of vowels as well. The way today we are going to do, same thing will be done with them. So the categorization is the first thing that we're going to do. There are different categories of the consonants. So I will write in simple words types. Okay, there are different types of the consonants. Let me just make it a little bit thicker. Okay, yeah. So there are different kinds of the consonants that we should know about. Like I would divide for the simplicity and for simplifying it to you in five categories. First one, I would tell you, is plosive. Okay, plosive. Like there are different categories of the consonants. You should know about their names, and you should know that why they are called these. Okay, once you will be able to know that, then you will be able to actually judge it also, and you will practice that as well. Okay, then affricatives, affricates, we can simply say affricates. Okay, three categories. Fourth one is nasals, and fifth one is like li liquids and glides, and last one is glides. And I will write the last one on the other side, glides. Now I will talk about each of them, each one of them, one by one. So you need not to worry about that I will leave anything. So what we are going to do is we are going to focus on the first part only, like first particular like consonant. So I would be focusing right at the moment on the first one, that is plosive. Okay, plosives, and in simple words you can call them stops. Okay, there would be stops. Now when we say uh, plosives, what can be the plosive? There can be obstruction of air, can be for the longer time, can be for the like can be complete stoppage of air, can be like I'm talking about the air that comes out of the mouth. When there is complete stoppage, then that is also a plosive. And when there is brief stoppage, that is also a plosive. But all of them will not have the same kind of stoppage of the air, or flow will not be obstructed for all of them in the same way. So that's how they are to be produced differently. Now we are going to talk about the first sound, like under the plosives, and it won't be in any other category, it would be in only plosives. Per sound. Now when you will utter the per sound, you will see that the sound is produced by completely stopping the airflow at the lips and then releasing it. Per. When we release, when we open the mouth, the air is released. Firstly, we obstruct the air by the upper and the lower lip. Per. When we say per, then we obstruct the full, the full flow of air, and it is completely blocked. When once it is blocked, that means we are going to open them, and as we are going to open them, the sound produced would be per sound. Like per sound occurs in like pig, we say polite, we say peacock, okay, we say p, we say practice, we say so many words are there that we produce by the word, by the sound per. But I meant to say that why it is known as plosive. Plosive means stops. So if there is a complete stop by the help of the two lips, like upper and the lower lip, then what we are producing is we are producing the the plosive. We are producing the per sound. Per sound will have only the two lips, upper and the lower lip used. So that will be done in this case. Now, as we have done the first one, we're going to talk about the second sound that comes under the plosives category, that is D. Now, when we say D, okay, it can be written like this, it can be written like that. So, but basically it should be in under the like the transcriptions mode. Okay, so D sound. When we say D sound, obviously with the D sound, not a D, we don't say D, because with the D we are uttering a vowel too. D, E, F, F. When we say F, then we are uttering firstly the vowel sound and then fur sound. But if we know about the symbols only, and the sound system, then definitely we are never going to be wrong as far as the pronunciation of something is concerned. And that's all about learning uh, the consonant and the vowels rightly. So now we are talking about the D sound, and D sound is formed by briefly stopping the airflow with the tongue. Okay, when we say D, you should know that D is actually touching the above portion of our, like what we call it, alveolar ridge. Okay, it is touching against the alveolar ridge, and then we are releasing it, and we are releasing the air thereafter. Firstly, we are obstructing it with the tongue, and then we are touching it to the alveolar ridge, and then we are opening it out, and the air goes out, and the sound produces D sound. That's why. And there is a lot of pressure that that gets built up when we actually obstruct the air, when we are actually obstructing the air by touching the like tongue to the alveolar ridge. D. When we say D. So what's there? The alveolar ridge and the tongue comes into play, but and the stopping is done for brief period of time. So there is a briefly stopping of the airflow. That is why like the sound goes like D. Okay, and when we are using lips, both of the lips and the airflow is stopped completely, then we say P. So that's how the sound has to be produced. We will have lots of words, but the very basic word is the dog. Dog, ditch, draw, drink, duck, drake, and many other words you can create. So that all depends upon you, or we can say delight. Delight. If we say delight, you see that the next sound that we said D, E, a E sound, that like if you're gonna check that phonetic transcription for the same, it would be like that only. Delight. Okay. Light, height, t sound. Then it would be written in this way in phonetic transcription when you're gonna check that one in any of the dictionary. Once you will check that one in any of the dictionary, you will be able to analyze that how it is to be spoken and how it is to be pronunciated, you can say. Now the third sound that I would talk about is like what you would be saying, like it starts with C, but now tell me what sound it would be. It is k sound. We don't say C sound. Because we have started alphabet with C, like we have started the word with C, and then it can be wrong. It should be seat if it is starting with C, but it is cat. So the sound system is to be clear rather than only the alphabets. You should know that for your simplicity. That's fine that you know the alphabet, but the sound system is the only way to pronunciate the word correctly. But how k sound and how it is to be written, it should be written like this. It's k sound. Now don't say K. It's not K. It's K sound, okay? So it produces as K. It involves a stopping again because it is a plosive, then definitely it involves a stopping of the airflow. Here we are doing again the same thing. K. The tongue is touching the alveolar ridge, but completely K and then releasing it. So then there is a difference between D, and K. D and K, in both cases, the alveolar ridge comes into play, but the part it doesn't matter to be like which part is to be used, but what how the sound, how the air gets obstructed. I'm trying to put emphasis on that. So if the air is getting stopped, that means we are talking about plosives. We can remember them as plosives only. So if somebody would ask you that which plosives are the part of the consonant, or which consonants are the part, which consonants can be called as plosives one, you will be able to actually tell the person that these are the plosives and you should remember them. Okay, so now the next one that I would try to tell you would be fourth one. Let me tell. Uh, okay, but here I wanted to tell you that like how the things are going to be used. Cat, but here the examples I would say cat. When we say kite also, then k sound is there. There won't be c sound or something. Okay, cat, cat or kite or craze. In this one also, when you're gonna check in the dictionary, it would be written like crook, clear, crown, cling, click, cup. Many other words. They starts with C, but the sound is produced is this one, k sound. So that is one of the plosive. It is the third plosive that I talked about. Now fourth one, the fourth plosive, that is b sound. B. B. Now it's very much clear that air is blocked by the lips. Okay, but in a different way. In P it was different. In B it is different. Now, how it is different? You should know that like how when you are pronunciating B or P, that's clear difference. But the use of the lips is there to block the air. Remember that. So when we say bad, it's like again the plosive one, and suddenly released. There is no sudden release in the case of per sound. We know that now it's gonna go out if we really want to say it. But when we say burr, we all of a sudden open the lips and then the air goes out. Then the burr sound comes out of our mouth. So that's how it is. Like we say bud, brock, block, behave, blind, breach. Many words are there, but I'm giving you 4 to 5 examples for each of them so that you may remember it for more time or for long time. Okay. Now, uh, just a second. Just a second. I am just checking it out, like if there is anyone over there. And even it is the night time, I believe that I should not sleep earlier. Okay. Now, what happens is like the next one that I would like to talk about is the next sound, like plosive only, but you should guess it out, like which requires a force and even uh, the air is blocked in this case too. When we say t sound, okay, the t sound, when we talk about t sound, then again air is blocked. But here the tongue blocks the airflow of at the alveolar ridge again, t, and then is released. So when we say t, again the air is blocked by like the tongue using the alveolar ridge and making connection with that for like a certain period of thudding period. So tip, tart, tiger, tell, truck, train, took, trick, tugged, train, tool, many other words. So there can be lots of words that you can frame up so that you can remember that one, but you should remember that which of the plosives are there. Now I will write them all together. Okay. Well, like we talked about the first plosive, that was per, and then we started talking about the, then we started talking about the, okay, no, at the last only, and then thereafter we talked about k, and we talked about b. These pa, ba, ta, da, ka, like this one, these are the plosives. These are the plosives. Always remember that one because the ear is getting blocked in these scenarios. So that's why they are known as plosives. Now the next category that I'm going to talk about is the fricatives. Fricatives, like why we are kindly calling them as fricatives. The reason behind that is very much clear. Oh, fricatives. Fricatives. What are fricatives? Fricative actually is from friction. Friction. When there is a certain sort of friction is produced, the way I said something about the plosive, that there is a stop of the air. Here we are talking about the friction produced. Okay, whenever we utter such kind of sounds, we create frictions using the body, sorry, the mouth parts. Okay, now fricatives will be again 5 to 6 in numbers. We will talk about, yeah, 5. There will be five fricatives that I would be talking about, and even the first one actually it starts with the same like sound which is produced when we say fricative. F, f, f. There is a certain sort of, you know, partial obstruction. You know, when we say fish, fish, that first sound is produced, but what is there that this sound is created by the partial obstruction of airflow. Okay, there is a partial obstruction of airflow between the upper teeth, fur, fur, and the lower lip. You will use the lower lip and the upper teeth, and there is a partial obstruction of air, and there is a certain for the certain period of time there is a like friction, or we can say that a certain sort of obstruction. Okay, partial obstruction. So that is why first sound is a fricative. So what is fricative? Which produces, like when we utter them, there is a friction produced. So friction, flock, friend, fly, and many others. Now next one. Now this one also again is a fricative. Then think of the friction produced. Whenever we say all such sounds, or we speak out or utter such sounds, then we create friction. Now the ver sound I would be talking about, it's ver, ver, ver. Like what's that? The airflow is constricted through the vocal tract. The vocal tract is there. Obviously, what is vocal tract? That obviously that the food pipe that we are talking about, and when it goes out of the food pipe and comes into the mouth, then the airflow is constricted through the vocal tract. We say certain sort of vibration is there. You can feel the vibration also when you say v. So that vibration happens for small period of time, and it creates a friction between the upper teeth and the lower lip again. But that airflow is constricted through the vocal tract itself. Remember that. So very, vocal, vocation, victory, vlog, various, vagabond. Any other word by V would be vocal. I think I wrote that one before. So viceroy. Okay, viceroy, vice, while. Many other sounds can be produced. Now the next one is very beautiful one, and you should know that one because that's a symbol which actually again is a fricative, but you will clearly analyze that one. There is a vibration, and then definitely if there is vibration there is friction. So when we speak it out, then there is a certain sort of friction that is produced, and that friction, just because of that friction, that's known as fricative. Now that's the sound that I'm talking about is this one. You would be saying that it is O. It's not O, and you can actually exactly write it like this. That's this. And if you know that, it's fine. If you don't know, that's also fine. I would be just telling you right away now. That's th sound. It's th, th. th in think. Okay. Now it's very much clear that the sound results from the friction between the tongue and the upper teeth, between the tongue and the again okay, at the interdental position. Interdental, that means you should know that what is interdental. Like when we say intervene, in between, interdental would be that one only. Th, th. So when we say that interdental, both the teeth, like both the teeth are getting used, upper and the lower. Th. So interdental is that. Th. And we see the friction produced again. We hear the friction produced again. So that's why, that's again we can call it like we can call it a fricative. Now remember that's how we write it, the and sorry, the. And now we will talk about similar to the would be a different sound, the, and the will have a different symbol. That's the symbol for the. Okay, I will write it again. That's the symbol for the. That's the symbol for the. That's the symbol for the. Okay. Whenever we say the, again, when you will check it in the dictionary, it will be written like that. Like in IPA transcription, it will be written like that. So if you say uh, the in this, then any sound produced with the sound will be written like this. Right at the moment, I think the fifth one is to be done, and the fifth one is s sound. S. So obviously, from when we say s, there is a kind of um, whistle kind of friction. You know, the airflow is produced or is forced through a narrow gap between the tongue and the alveolar ridge. We say that, and then is the friction producing sound. Okay, so how it goes out underneath the alveolar ridge and through the tongue. Obviously, between the tongue and the alveolar ridge, there is a gap, and through the gap, the sound is produced. C. Simple, store, style, all of them are written with this. So now what we are going to do is we're going to do the recap for the fricatives. What are fricatives? Which produce friction. Okay. Now when they produce friction, we have different sounds. One is f, one is v, th, and the, and last one is s. Okay. S. F, v, th, the, s. It's like a rhyme that you are remembering. So remember that like this only. Okay. Now I'll write in the green color. Then comes like fricatives, and other is opposite to that one would be affricatives or affricates. We call them affricates. We got two affricates, and these two affricates are very easy to know, but their symbols are actually quite complex to understand and why they are like that. Okay, so why affricatives or why they are called like that? So they create affricate sound, like frictionless sound. Okay, ch, when we say ch, there is no like vibration, or there is no, like it's ch, j, j. So there is a certain sort of humming formation. That's why there they will be, like for example in church, When we say church, ch sound came for two times. But how ch is to be written? In our mother tongue, we have no we are known to so many symbols for ch. But in English, we have a symbol that is the combination of t and sh. Ch. That's why we call it ch. T and sh, they will be combining together, and that is sh symbols. Sh symbol, sorry. That is sh symbol and t symbol, and ultimately they make ch sound. Okay, remember that one. Like when we say chicken, it would be written with that symbol in dictionary. Remember that. Now the next one is j. J. That is the symbol for j. D, z. J. We say j. It's a combination of d and combination of z. So when they combine together, they make this, and there are lots of words to be written: judge, joke, uh, just. All of them will start with j sound that I wrote about. Like only we have two affricatives or affricates, and they are like ch and j. Okay, remember that. Now next one are nasals. Okay, so next one are nasals. Nasals are what are nasals? Nasals, obviously they would be uh, more related to the nasal activity or nasal cavity. Okay, so the sound produced by allowing the airflow to pass through the nasal cavity while blocking the oral cavity from like the from the mouth itself. Mm, when we say that, when we are obstructing the mouth, and then the sound produced is m. Okay, so that's m will be the nasal sound. Okay, because the obstruction is done, and then m sound is produced. Mat, material, mock, migraine, and macho man, Mike, mall, mine. In all of them, whenever we produce the m sound, then obstruction is there, but through the nasal cavity the sound is coming, so that's why. Next is same way m, and then second is n sound. Not. When we say not, nothing. Near. Okay, nor. Nice. Just a minute. uh, Nice. Nuke. Many others. So we have lots of sounds that we can actually produce, and now we are talking about the nasal sounds. And the last nasal sound that we have is king, cling, ng sound. Ng is written as this way. I'm writing it again. This way, this way, this way. Okay, remember that. So ng sound in everything. King, cling, any other, nothing. So many other sounds are there that which can be produced like that, and there are three sounds. Here we have three sounds like m, sorry, m, n, ng. These are the sounds that you should remember. That what are they? These are the nasal sounds. Now we're going to talk about like the leakage, the liquids. So why they are called as liquids, we're going to talk about that. And now that's a turn of liquids. Okay, liquids is like when we say when we say them, it is produced by allowing air to flow around the sides of the tongue, sides of the tongue, l, l, like it goes like when we touch the alveolar ridge with the tongue, the sound will be produced, and we are not opening the tongue, and the sound is produced from both of the sides of the tongue, which is actually attached to the alveolar, but by the side of the tongues where the air is free to pass, the sound is produced. So when then the sound is produced, then we call it liquids. Okay, because uh, they like the liquid is a kind of material which, like for example, there is any obstruction, it will go from the side, the liquid will go from the side. So that is why l sound is one of that. Okay, like the water is going to go from the other remaining sides from where they will, it will make its own way, water makes its own way, same way, that is why it is known as liquids. Okay, so then another one is r, r. Okay, we say r sound, r, we obstruct it, but we're still the it will make its way. So a r sound is characterized by the tongue tip uh, being raised towards the alveolar, so while allowing air to flow around it. So still there is a way, when it is touching it, but the tip when gets touched to the alveolar ridge, there's again some space for air to go out, then that produce r sound, racket, rich, rook, like uh, roj, rice, rumble, many other words. So now the last category that we are going to talk about is glides. Okay, so we're going to talk about the glides now. What are the glides? Sorry, gliding is like, obviously it means that gliding is there when we say yeah sound. Okay, we don't say yes, we don't say yes, we say yes, yeah, yeah sound. So yeah sound, the sound yeah is created by quickly moving from a slightly constricted position, yeah, to a more open one, creating a glide like sound. Okay, so gliding sound is produced yeah. So we give more space than when it gets touched, when there is any kind of obstruction, and then all of a sudden there is a like open area. So the symbol for year sound is in the j form. Okay, but it is year sound, year for yes, yes. Okay, we say yucky, we say yucky. It's not like safe to, or like good to the, like palatable, it is not palatable. So yucky, so we can say yucky like that. We can write yippee, yield. When we say yield, again the same sound, again the same symbol, then this one, that's year sound. Always remember that, don't mix it up with this and that. Okay, don't mix it up, it's j sound, j. Okay, remember the last symbol of the today's class is like v sound, v, v. It's not V for ver, it's ver sound. It's formed by rounding the lips and then releasing the airflow, resulting in a glide-like sound. We say like that's why. Wet, wound, wreck, watch, wool, wicked, many more. So that's how uh, the sounds are. Like we talked about the fricatives, we talked about the liquids. Okay, liquids are two in number. Liquids are two in number. Like we have la and ra. Okay, and ra can be written like that. And if there are glides or gliding sound, then we have ja, ya for yes, v for wound or wound or wind or whatsoever. So these are the symbols for the IPA system, and as I believe that you would go through that whole system of like vowels and the consonants, vowel and consonants, you will be able to actually gather the whole information through these two videos about the pronunciation. Like lots of people have problem with the pronunciation, and as you will be able to know that like how the pronunciation is to be done through these two videos, then I think there would be less chances that you're gonna make mistake in the pronunciation of any category. So I request you all to actually subscribe to my channel also, and tell others people like other people to actually join for the classes if they really are willing to. Like I provide classes for nearly just 500 rupees, which is a kind of free of cost kind of classes, because I provided for the 20 days, and within the 20 days I think you will start seeing your improvement. So improvement is the only concern the people may have. So what I really want to actually like be thankful to is my subscribers are increasing now. So I request all those subscribers to actually share my channel with their friends and allies, so that they may also get the benefit that they are provided to. So thank you very much for the time being. I should say that you can watch this video carefully and try to tell me just through the comment section that what did you like about the video. Thank you very much and have a nice